Torah and Zohar tell us that arrogance and ignorance are inextricably bound. They're two sides of the same coin.
Mm-hmm.
And the beauty of it is that whoever holds the arrogant, ignorant thing will undo themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have to do nothing and get none of their karma on you to take them down. They'll do it themselves. All you have to do is witness it.
Yeah.
And wait.
And watch. And what you just raised is so important, because then we go to the CIA on this, and the agents that have been waiting for the right thing to be done, the right timing, they step in, because now they are heroes.
That's right.
And in the screenplay, the CIA...
And they always were.
Yeah.
They were hiding in the shadows till God electrified the soul, the sparks of God's soul that he put in us.
Yep.
It's been so wiped out by all this fucking
That's
Nazi
right.
bullshit and Islamicism to take us away from our connection and our desire for God.
Yeah, they shout us down. They steal the evidence. They block us from speaking. They mock us. Right now, I'm doing a show with the two most wonderful people I know. And
Where's that?
they can't cross-examine. They can't shout us down. They must be breaking the furniture against the wall and spewing their
They're
food
freaking
out
out.
their guts,
Yeah.
because they can't do anything about the truth being laid out logically right
Well,
now.
they can demonetize.
Oh
everything,
my
too.
God. That's why they're doing all these things that they're doing to put people in positions who are such excellent liars.
Yes, indeed.
Right?
That have a price and want to be famous. What's interesting, though, what you also said with the CIA in the original work, and this is the first draft right here. First draft. This is the 93, March 21st, 93. First draft. Wow. That means we can now prove before Ghost in the Shell, before Matrix all the way, that before the Wachowskis in 96 assigned Matrix title, when they finally get to instead of saying Science Project or given the work and pick a title, we're here.
Yeah.
This is going to be a real chagrin for the...
It is
for
a real
You're
chagrin
continuing
for him
your legal
because
case.
We're going to, yes.
Yeah,
And I
great,
think somehow
great.
we're interconnected, all of us.
Yeah,
So
'cause
what
we're
happens
suing-
is,
no,
I
I'm
think we're
suing Disney,
interconnected.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is God's doing here. I'm here because I'm to be here.
Yeah.
It's God's the orchestrator. He's the architect. And so what we
God's
have,
the author of all life.
the Queen said it, it's the author. I agree. So what we have is the CIA in the original work, Neo is in a lower echelon department as its head in the CIA. Smith is an upper echelon department. And that's the backstory.
Yeah.
And what happens is CIA...
It's a class war.
Yeah, and Central Intelligence Agency becomes central in the original work in the future. So Smith is always part of Central Intelligence Agency. I called the Cortex building the Central building. So they called it Cortex building, just playing off of it. But
I love the guy
seamless
that
thing.
plays Smith, though, in the movie.
Hugo
because he is,
Hugo Weaving, yeah.
is his name. Brilliant.
his monotone devoid of all humanity
well,
and
he doesn't.
emotion.
He doesn't like that.
You don't like that?
No, he talked about it in the
Well,
first
no,
episode.
what I'm saying is, yeah.
He didn't think
Because
that was good.
He
acting.
got it off the
But
script.
I liked
He
it.
did it. It's not really his fault. From what I understand from my
You
sources.
don't like that monotonal,
I like it.
non-human thing?
Well, from the sources I have.
How is it supposed to be?
I'll read it to you.
Okay.
He talked about this in the first episode.
Yeah, so I'll just lay it out real quick.
But I
So-
I love Hugo Weaving, and I'm sorry, I know you're going to get mad at me. I love him in The Matrix.
He does a good job.
He
but
does
the
a
thing is,
great
he was
job.
screwed by the Wachowskis.
Yeah.
And I'm going to make this clear to you that it's not his fault.
No.
What was that character supposed to do?
Well, here it is. I'm going to show you. He did what he's supposed to. He did what he's supposed to do as an actor. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Now let me say this. Let me just see.
I hate actors.
Again, watch
All they
episode
are
1.
is chronic masturbators that somebody tells them they don't even think or feel. They just,
That's why they're actors.
that is why they're actors. And
right, here we
there's
go.
nothing there.
The CIA
All right.
sociopathic weapons.
I'm holding up the original screenplay used on set, the 1998 version used on set in 1999. This is what they went off of. So here's what Hugo Weaving was allowed to see when they broke the 20-foot rule for him to see the character description, or they read it to him, was this. A stern-looking man in his upper 50s is among them. He is meticulously groomed and moves with a calculated grace. Sounds robot-like, doesn't it? In fact, the agents are described as robot-like. robot-like agents. So he knows that. He knows his Shakespeare.
I mean,
he
that's
knows,
what agent means.
Right, well, he knows his Shakespeare. He knows that you go off the descriptions that the author has laid before you. That's your first source of forming your character that you go off of, your prime source.
Correct.
And so
As
reading
an
that,
actor.
reading that, you can see where Hugo Weaving would take his take for the first offer. The actors are responsible for doing a first. I won awards in performance too, where
Yeah,
you do your
I
first.
understand.
You understand what I'm talking about? Your first offer.
They are not creators and they're not writers. They're not
So,
authors.
they're parents.
What they kind of
Responsible.
are is just a bunch of circus ponies.
Yeah.
Well, and smart ones, some smart ones too.
They're
But
parrots.
you're responsible for making that offer of the character's interpretation of the character. It is the director's response to form and mold you from that, and you are supposed to go through a process of give and take, where I'll try this now, adding what the director gave, adding what the director gave. It didn't happen.
Because the
Wachowskis-
Wachowskis suck. and
They
they're like,
suck.
Great,
Thank
done."
you.
Yeah.
Well, they're girls.
Which is why they suck.
Yeah, well, not touching it. But what happened was, what
I
happened
mean,
was,
Which is also why they suck.
Girls are not. Girls are not like. I mean,
They can't parallel park.
the most creative force is no. The creative force in art is a male force, and these guys are girls. They
Okay.
want to be girls,
Yeah.
and that's not the creative force. It takes the erect, humping force of the phallus to create
well, that
something.
inch of anatomy is still hangling from each of them. Hangling means dangle and hang. So
well,
yeah,
but
hangling.
I mean, they're girls.
They still have their anatomy.
A lot of
They
women
still have
have.
their penises?
Yes, they do.
No, but a lot
They were
of.
told by Warner Bros. to do this.
Huh?
So,
Episode 1,
yeah,
check it out.
they're pushing an agenda. They're pushing an
We
agenda.
talked about this in episode
Yeah.
1.
But let me tell you this though.
But you know what that agenda is?
Yeah, we know. We know. It's destroy the whole family structure, everything else, and
Women. Destroy women because men
Replace
can be.
them. Yeah, in the
men
future.
can be way better women than women.
we have a
That
whole
is
show
what
on
it is.
this. Yeah.
Oh, you see, my patience is growing thin.